Welcome, welcome, boys. This is going to be a different type of video than the ones I normally upload. However, it is still going to be important nonetheless. So the thing you pickup truck owners and drivers need to stop doing is justifying your vehicle purchase. And that's to people in general, but specifically and especially people on the internet, strangers on the internet, whom you don't even know. What am I talking about? Well, I've noticed there's quite a few videos on YouTube, such as these. And I can only assume that these videos were suggested to me because since I now own a truck and I upload videos on my Dakota, that it would suggest other truck videos, but of course not good truck videos, ones that are bad. And so that's fine. Those guys are allowed to have their own opinions on what they think about other people's vehicle purchases and what they're driving, because this is America and you're entitled to your own opinion. The problem I have is, for my own curiosity, I wanted to see what the general consensus was, so I went into the comments down below of those videos, and a majority of people agree with the uploader, where they're like, yeah man, these pickup trucks are too big and they're dangerous, we need to get these people off the road, they're compromising my safety if I get into a crash because I drive a little crossover or a car or something. Well, that's, I guess, great and all that you have that opinion, but that's not really how this works. Like I said, this is you shouldn't even be engaging with these people, because for every several of those comments, you'll get a comment where a pickup truck driver posts a comment, and it says something, essentially why he justifies his vehicle purchase. Like, oh, well, I need a pickup because I needed to, I like to go biking, and see, I need the bed so I can load my bikes, because it's just more convenient and easier to put them in there than it would be like an SUV with those little bike things on the back, or an SUV, blah, 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 blah. So there, and then, he'll get dogpiled in the comments like, well, if you don't do that every day, it's cheaper just to go rent a truck from U-Haul or Home Depot or Lowe's, it's like $25 a day, blah, 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 or something like that. And that's the problem. See, you're not going to change anybody's mind or convince them of something other than what they already believe, so there's no point in even engaging with these people. But the point is, I notice it's only pickup drivers that do this. For example, ever since I was 18 up until like 2017, so for like 15 years, my daily driver was a Corvette. 15 years straight. That was the only car I had. So that was the one I drove. And you didn't hear me complaining about everybody in their normal size sedan, like their Geo Metros, really bothering me. Because until you drive a Corvette, you don't notice, you wouldn't notice it, but driving it, you notice every other car is bigger than yours. Like, period. My Volkswagen Beetle, my 74, is taller than my Corvette. So when you're sitting behind people in traffic in your Vette, you can't see through their windows to the things ahead of you, nor can you see over the top of their vehicles. You're just staring at everybody's license plates and their brake lights all day. That's it. That's all you can see is everybody else's bumper, even in a normal car, let alone their minivans, which is what people used to drive a lot of back in my day, before crossovers were a thing. You'd see your soccer moms driving in their SUVs, and you'd see men driving in their pickup trucks, and then you'd see normies driving around in little sedans. And then, I'm the only guy on the road with a Corvette all the time. But the point is, there was never any videos about all these Corvette drivers, blah, 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 blah. Now you can say because they're not as prolific as trucks and SUVs and such. But the point is, I would have never thought in a million years that I would even consider just justifying what I'm driving and why. It's America. I can drive whatever the hell I want. If I choose to daily drive a Corvette every day, that's on me. And if we're going to take that to its logical conclusion, well, that thing's like one of the least safe vehicles is made of fiberglass, not even made of steel. It's shaped like a freaking, like a doorstop. So, I mean, if someone's coming at me head on, they could just drive over the top of my car and launch themselves up into the air like a ramp. You don't hear me complaining about that. And it was only recently, like I said, I started driving a normal car, like my Crown Vic every day is a daily. And then, I recently got this mid-sized truck, Dodge Dakota. You don't need to, just stop it with just stop justifying your vehicle purchase to these, what I'm going to just say, losers on the internet, because they're all, everybody in the comments is like, yeah, man, I drive the crossover, okay, well, you drive the world's cheapest Buick Encore, or whatever that tiny little crossover thing is, you know, the Buick version of the Chevy Trax. You guys buy these cheap crossovers because that's all you can afford, so as far as I'm concerned, they're all just jealous and envious of anybody who's buying either a large SUV like an Escalade or a Tahoe or something, or a pickup truck driver. But if they want to drive something small like that, well, you know, again, they can do that. It's America. And so you don't need to justify your vehicle purchase to any of these guys, because you're not going to change their opinion on why you need it. If you do feel so inclined as to justify it, which again I wouldn't, you really need to say, well, that's nice, you're entitled to your own opinion, this is America, I can drive whatever I want. Because if you start trying to justify it, it doesn't matter. And even if you point out the obvious, like, because they're going to say, well, what do you need that big bed for if you're not hauling anything? Well, I could say the same thing about all that unused space in your sedan or your crossover, where you're not hauling anything. What do you need that hatch or that trunk for? You're the only one in it. What do you need those 3 extra seats for? I mean, you can make the same argument about me driving my Corvette. I'm only one man. I exclusively drove that thing. I'd say over 95% of the time I was the only one in it. So what do I need that other seat for? I should just drive a Batmobile. Or, what's that little European car, the Reliant Robin? That little 3-wheel thing that only fit one person, used to tip over all the time on Top Gear. Why doesn't everybody just drive one of those most of the time? You're only one person. And so now, not everybody has 7 different cars like me. You can drive whatever they want. Some people, their only daily is a pickup truck, or a large SUV, or a minivan or something, and that's fine. What's the difference between them driving their sedan and hauling around mostly air other than themselves, or you driving your pickup truck and hauling mostly air in your bed? What's the difference? There isn't one, other than your vehicle's bigger than theirs. And for them to be like, well, if we get in a crash, your beast versus my beast, well, I'm going to be more seriously injured. Okay, well, I don't know, get higher injury insurance, I guess, or drive more carefully, or buy another bigger beast. It's not really everybody else's responsibility to make sure you're safe when you crash your car. Because I have the same mentality on the police. You know, it's not some other man's job to keep me safe. That, you know, if I want to be safe, I'm just going to go buy a gun and carry it, and then I don't have to worry about calling another man to solve my problems for me. I can solve my own problems, and that's the way I think about the other cars. You know, I never thought, oh my God, if I get in a crash, everybody should stop driving these normal-sized cars, man, because I'm driving this little Corvette. No. And these guys should get off that line of thinking as well. So, stop justifying it. If you really feel the need to, it's America. You can drive whatever you want. And I wouldn't even go down the road of, well, they're hauling around just as much air as you are, because, you know, your bed's open to the environment. It's hauling air. Their car's hauling mostly air. Because then, I guess even if you did point that out, you're like, yeah, but it gets worse gas mileage. Okay, and you're not the one paying for it, I am. What do you care? I don't care, you shouldn't care. And on one other thing, also in those videos, you know, they give the thing about the pedestrian safety thing. Well, the big trucks are less safe for the pedestrians. Okay, how often are pedestrians getting run over every day? I don't know, look both ways before crossing the street, I guess. But I also like the one video where they did put, like, 20 kids or something in front of, like, I don't know, it was like a Sierra or like a Denali Escalade, some large vehicle. You know, like, look, you can fit like 20 kindergartners sitting down in front from the bumper all the way out before the driver even sees them. You could be murdering 20-something kids, I guess. But I mean, assuming you're looking forward, you're going to see 20 kids just sitting in the street anyway. A and B, I don't think there's like large groups of kids anyway, like 20-something kids in any given place. I never see a kid outside by themselves anymore, or like even in groups of 2 or 3. But I don't think they're lining up to sit in front of vehicles, just waiting for you to, I don't know, come around the back outside in the dark and start your car and run them all over. I don't know, I just don't see that happening. So that's what we call non sequitur. That's superfluous. There's no reason to even include anything like that, other than to tug at the heartstrings of the won't someone please think of the children. So that's all I got for you. Kind of a long-winded video, but I at least got it out of the... said my piece at the very beginning, so if you wanted to hang around for the rest, fine, and if you didn't, well, that's fine too. Point is, stop justifying your vehicle purchases, especially your pickup truck, because there's no SUV people doing that. There's no sports car people doing that. There's no compact or subcompact people justifying their vehicle purchase. It's only the pickup truck drivers, for some reason, that feel the need to do that, and just stop it. Just be like everybody else. You don't have to justify it. You drive whatever you want, for whatever reason you want. If you want to drive a freaking tank, do that. Oh, and I guess the other thing is, because if you do, even if you start, going back and forth, they're gonna, oh, well, you say you need it for that, but it's really just because, you're compensating for something. That's why you drive the big truck, because your penis is small. That's all they're going to say. Although I do notice there are women who also drive pickup trucks. So I'm curious as to what their diss is going to be for the women who drive pickup trucks as their daily. Like, are they going to say, well, it's because you have a small vagina and you're compensating for it? Anyway, is that a thing? Like, do you women need to compensate for your small vaginas by driving big trucks? Or maybe it's your small chest. You need to drive big trucks. And I'm not saying that's a reason you do. I'm just saying that's probably what they're going to say. So, I don't know. I guess if you're a female watching this, you let me know down below in the comments. Is it more, if you had to compensate, like let's say you were insecure, would you be more insecure about your small vagina or your small rack? And that's why you need the big pickup truck, to attract the men's. You tell me. So, alright, that's all I got for you. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.